Do you start or do I start?
Yes, I can give the introduction. Pardon me. So hello everyone and thank you for coming. This is the lecture 42 conducted by Boris Petrovic. Today's topic will be Nikola Tesla and the free energy. I'm looking forward to today's fun. So let's get started.
Thank you, Martina, for the opening. So last Friday and Saturday we gave an introduction in some of the work that I've been doing in the past years. We gave an introduction into some basic principles underlying science of consciousness. We have talked about our new developments in digital electrography.
Boris, I can hear you poorly. Is it only me, guys, or?
Me too.
Is it better now?
Yes, that's better.
It's
Thank
better
you.
now.
So my microphone went the other way,
And now it's okay.
Now it's perfect. Yes,
Fine.
thank you.
Okay, so we gave an introduction about consciousness technologies and the new developments in digital electrography, and presented in the beautiful southern city of Brazil, Florianopolis, the new space where the first GTV Tesla device will be used in research with universities in Brazil to confirm the method underlying the human biofield analysis here in Brazil that we can use as a medical device in wellness centers and also in research in psychic phenomena. And today I am in São Paulo in the laboratory of the Nikola Tesla Institute. So we talked a little bit last week on what are the objectives and goals of this institution that I founded 4 years ago here in Brazil. Tomorrow we will talk about the noosphere paradigm, about planetary consciousness, and I will reveal actually some geophysical energetic properties of our planet and why it was so important for me to move to Brazil and continue my research and laboratory work. And I will talk more tomorrow about the geophysical properties of the Earth's magnetic field on top of what we call Brazil here. I understand, Susanna, that you're from Venezuela, but these geophysical phenomena end up somewhere in the equatorial line of Brazil, and they're very important in the continuing of the work of Nikola Tesla that was not finished. So today the subject is Nikola Tesla and free energy. I don't know, we talked a little bit about Nikola Tesla's patents, but it will come in more detail today. So I am talking from the laboratory of the Tesla Institute. Here where we deal with resonance phenomena, electromagnetism, wireless energy transmission, and we have various experiments set up that can transmit energy at short distances, and we will show a little bit on the science of how Tesla wanted to use its geophysical properties to transmit freely energy at any distance, even to the most remote locations of the Earth. So, us understanding energy and in this essence, the the vision of Nikola Tesla is very important because it underlines some principles that are less, let's say, mainstream science. The academia still cannot relate completely to the rebellious ideas of Nikola Tesla, who had lived and worked 100 years ago. So still, we are unable to comprehend his ideas, and his ideas were not only speculations. He was an experimenter, so he dedicated the whole of his life on to working in his laboratory with more than 300 patents. His visions of the cosmos, universe, and energy and matter interactions and principles he turned into useful devices, most of which still are a basis for our energy generation and distribution systems planetary wide. In terms of principles, obviously, the technology has evolved a little bit, but still we stick to the basic principles. So I can start now sharing my screen. Here I have only one screen, so I hope you can see it. The PowerPoint just says okay. It's okay. So uh, I always start with this slide. One of Tesla's favorite quotes was, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." These are the three most important phenomena in which we can explain the manifesting reality that in Tesla's vision was based in a all-pervading medium. So we talked a little bit about resonance in the past two lectures, and we talked that Tesla was one of the scientists that um, believed in the existence of the ether, which he thought that was a gaseous medium that he intended to use to transmit energy at any distance instantaneously and without loss. So he proved in many experiments that there are vibrations and waves that are different from what we relate to in basic engineering or academia in radio frequencies. So here it says Nikola Tesla, inventor of radio. So here we can see some of Tesla's inventions. It is this upper right corner is the first remote control vehicle. It is a Nikola Tesla's boat, where he demonstrated the principles of transmission of information without wires, and also remote control and the basis of artificial intelligence. This little boat has turned into drones and software, and it had a peculiarity. It did not really use any battery. It was using energy transmitted through water. So Tesla, with this little apparatus, has shown very many principles that are part of his vision. Here you can see the induction motor. The induction motor is based on the rotary electromagnetic field invention, and some in the academia say that probably this invention is the most useful of all inventions of Nikola Tesla if we observe its importance uh, for the human civilization. It is like the invention of the wheel, and every motor and generator uses the rotary magnetic field, and the the observable difference is that it uses the principles of the wheel of nature. So we talked about Tesla's intuitive process of thinking and how he observed nature and how this was very important according to his sensitivity to reveal the secrets of the universe. So Tesla observed the uniform rotation movement in the sky and concluded that there is an electromagnetic essence in these movements, and this in turn he uh, turned into the principle of the rotary magnetic field that is used in every alternating current generator today in the world. So here is a historic photo of Nikola Tesla in Colorado Springs. Tesla was born in what is now ex-Yugoslavia as a son of an Orthodox priest. Orthodox priests can marry and have kids. So he moved to the United States after having a very innovative work in telegraphy in Europe. So he had a recommendation from one of the associates of the great inventor Thomas Edison, and via this connection, he moved to the United States to work for the Edison company, and all his ideas found fruit in the United States, and it all started in New York, where his work with motors had success. So these resources he used to fund research in what he thought was the most important experience of his life, the invention of radio and wireless transmission of energy. So this photo was from Nikola Tesla's laboratory in Colorado Springs. It was built in an altitude of 2,000 some hundred meters, where he conducted for at least 3 years very detailed research on the Earth resonance and inductive transmission of energy, resonance systems of transmission of energy, and wireless systems. It is where the first very large Tesla coil was constructed to work as an antenna, where he observed the properties of soil and ground as conductive at certain frequencies, and documented the proof of the scientific possibility of transmitting energy potentials at greater distances, even many kilometers. So Tesla was a showman. He did not really stay in this area when the lightning was going on. Back in that time, photographers were using plates. There were no digital cameras. So he turned all the mechanisms of the large Tesla coil to capture the discharges. Then it was turned off, and then he sat there reading a book. So the photography was using a long exposition. Uh, these discharges went to something like 15 million volts, so it was not very safe to be in this area. He was not really sitting there when the discharges were going out. So the his work in Colorado Spring was very well documented. It was the best documented part of his life, where he published a diary, and it can be found on the internet as a publication of the Nikola Tesla Museum. Nikola Tesla diary in Colorado Springs, where in a couple of hundred of pages, he explains his ideas of transmitting energy and his experiments with antennas. We talked more about the human antenna in the past two lectures. Now we will talk about wireless energy transmission devices and antennas, the science of radio, and the radio transmission and electromagnetic waves is very important for us understanding some principles in consciousness. But Tesla's ideas in terms of waves were different than most people in the academia thought of when we talk about his idea of the global wireless energy system. So after this work in Colorado Springs, he had a great vision of constructing a larger transmitter that can cover the whole globe with the energy potential. And this was done in the state of Long Island. So you can see here a design of the tower. It was supposed to transmit information, creating something that in his outline, his autobiography, is exactly what the internet today is, but also with a complex frequency changing system, energy potentials at the most distant parts of the globe, as well as to some electric vehicles, electric cars, and even electric flying machines, as can be observed in the design here. So the topic today is free energy. Before I continue more on the Tesla's ultimate dream of in reality distributing energy freely without cost and without wires to any planetary inhabitant. We need to understand some basic principles of his ideas. So here we have a quote of Tesla on his birthday. His birthday was 10th of July in 1932.
Boris, sorry for interrupting. I can hear you poorly again. If you can put your microphone.
My microphone went away. Is it better now?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I keep on moving the microphone. So, free energy for us is any energy source that is freely accessible uh, without any monopoly, being able to control access to energy. And in this sense, Tesla was an environmentalist, so he wanted to access renewable energy sources or ambiental energy, extracting energy from the ambient and then transmit it wirelessly freely to all the population. So he observed the extraction of the energy from the environment in many ways that are not essentially material, like petroleum or coal or any kind of matter that needs to have ownership or extraction from the earth. So he stated here as one of his very important discoveries was the discovery of cosmic rays, that he has harnessed cosmic rays and caused them to operate a motive device. So his investigation in cosmic rays was very important. He did have an advanced theory of how cosmic rays bombard the Earth. Some 60 years uh, later than his discovery, science published the research to prove that there exists a cosmic microwave background and the whole uh, sphere of the universe around us is bombarding us with type of small particles, and that this essentially is a small energy source. Cosmic rays ionize air, and they set free many charged ions and electrons in the air. So Tesla was able to capture cosmic rays in a condenser, which he made to discharge through a simple circuit to make work. So this basic principle is shown in one of Tesla's most important patents. It is Nikola Tesla patent in the United States 685957 from the year 1901. Uh, in what he called the apparatus for utilization of radiant energy. The patent refers to the sun as well as other sources of radiant energy like cosmic rays. So this is basically a metal plate connected to a capacitor that is grounded and then to a circuit that is able to do some work. So transferring electrical impulses to mechanical movement, for instance. And you can observe that in his patent, he has drawn these arrays coming to the metal plate. So this is the first solar panel, albeit rudimentary in its outline. It was not very efficient, but it could be used to extract solar radiation to electricity. But what Tesla discovered that this device also worked at night. So he did not really understand what type of radiation was available during the night. There was no sun. In the day, you can call it solar photonic uh, radiation, but he did not at that time understand uh, this principle. So he called this radiant energy, and basically he discovered the cosmic microwave background that radio astronomers today map with the radio telescopes. So Tesla also referred to the ground. Here you can see the grounding of the whole apparatus as a vast reservoir of negative electricity. So, identifying radiant energy, Tesla showed that, albeit uh, uh, small potencies of energy, can be extracted from the ambient and not from the type of matter that was and still is usual in our capitalist civilization. And he said that this source of energy is our sun. Sun emits small particles carrying small charge, move with great velocity, even he said exceeding the speed of light. Later, Tesla published in some patents that he measured waves that propagate with speeds faster than the speed of light, thus contradicting the established experiments and science of Einstein. So this is one part of Nikola Tesla's conflict with science, where he uh, believed that these particles exceeding the speed of light that he was able to stimulate via electromagnetic, electrostatic pulses can travel faster than light, and these are type of neutral particles. And he also believed that these neutral primary rays of the sun were responsible for all radioactive reactions. Radiant matter, according to Tesla, is in tune with these neutron particles, and radiant matter is simply a retransmitter of energy from one state to another. If we observe uh, common cosmology, astrophysics today, the accepted model shows that observable matter in the whole universe, this means planets, stars, gases, everything that is material in the universe is only something like up to 5% of everything that we can calculate. Then they say there is something like 23% of some type of dark matter, and they even say that something like 70% is observed as a form of dark energy. So there are many lines of science and astrophysics that observe motion of galaxies to 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 show the evidences of the existence of this dark energy. And I must repeat that Tesla believed in the existence of ether as an all-pervading a gaseous type of phenomena. Some some conscious physicists today are trying to bring again in front of the scientific community the idea Tesla had, and that he was not exceptionally crazy talking about the existing of non-physical phenomena. And last weekend we said that Tesla thought that if science was to observe non-physical phenomena, in 10 years it can involve as the whole past century of its existence. Science today has a specific problem. The problem is called measurement device. So what science with its devices and sensors cannot measure, it does not really exist for science. This does not mean that these phenomena do not exist in nature. So we still, with our electromagnetic devices, don't have the possibility to measure and statistically show their existence and quantify it. So we last time talked about bioelectrography and biophotonics as a type of technology that can measure manifestations of some of these phenomena. We will also talk a little bit more about the non non-physical phenomena. It's very important understanding the ideas of Tesla, what was going on in his head to research in his patents and in his articles because he was right. Hundreds years later, unfortunately, he was a century in front of his time now. Only we can observe his ideas as complete truth. At that time, we spent more time with people from spiritual lodges and artists that could really understand his ideas, and less with scientists that had really some Newtonian types of thinking of hard, solid matter. So to explain free energy at a university, we show some basic reproducible experiments. Here is one very simple experiment that is called the Casimir effect. It was done by this scientist Casimir, where we bring two metal plates together at a very small distance, molecular distance. So the Casimir effect is a small attractive force that acts between two close, parallel, uncharged conducting plates. So there is no wires, no nothing, just two metal plates. And due to quantum vacuum fluctuations of the electromagnetic field, there is a force, and there is observed work that results in pressure on the plates. The origin of the Casimir effect is essentially geometrical, since the space between two plates is different from the space outside. The vacuum fluctuations are different in the two regions, and they are brought together. So the most important issue here that there is a reproducible experiment that shows that a force can appear apparently from no matter, from nothing, from an all pervading vacuum that can do work. Albeit it is small amount of force, we still cannot power our fridge using this phenomena. But in terms of showing the principles of an all-pervading field and the energy and matter interaction, it is very important. So Tesla's very extensive work and our work here in the Nikola Tesla Institute is focused on resonance methods of electrical power transmission. We have talked in the last two sessions about resonance, how we observe human consciousness through the phenomenon of the human antenna. Now we will talk more into engineering and physics of resonance transmission systems. This is one of the diagrams of an important patent of Nikola Tesla is the single wire resonance transmission system. You can see essentially here two Tesla coils. One is the generator coil, another is a receiving coil. These two Tesla coils, they have their own primary circuit and a secondary circuit that and a high frequency current generator and a grounding plate. And so last time we talked about the use of high frequency generators in digital bioelectrography. These are the same principles. Every bioelectrography device has within itself the high frequency current generator, basically Tesla coil of a type. So the issue here is that these two Tesla coils are not huge, not like Tesla towers, where everybody thinks that there is a type of an atmospheric discharge that connects these towers around the world and thus transmit energy. These coils here have a wire with a type of isolation that connects them, and it's observable quite a few interesting phenomena. So Tesla showed this experiment more than 100 years ago when he was involved in the war of the current. So everybody knows who has watched the History Channel about Tesla's conflict with Thomas Edison, the inventor of the direct current, which was not efficient in transmitting power at greater distances. Tesla invented the alternating current and systems of generation energy located at localities where renewable energy is abundant, and then transmitting with great efficiency to the consumer in the cities. And today, if you have a look at the planet in the night from the space station, the International Space Station, you can observe what the Tesla work is in the matrix of lights that are cities and whatever is light pollution that makes cities here together as organic parts of the earth. So today, you turn on your light in your home, still 100 years later, you use the 5 patents of Nikola Tesla. It was the first hydroelectric plant that was created using the rotary magnetic field generators, the alternating current, high voltage transformers, and high voltage lines with the energy. So the alternating current as a system ruled over the non-efficient direct current system of Edison. But then again, Tesla in the later years developed something that is called the resonant current, cold current, cold electricity, which is even more efficient than the latter two, direct current or alternating current, also the invention of Nikola Tesla. So this resonant current system can be used in transmission lines, greater efficiency, but less use of copper wire, for instance, and we will show here how resonance waveguide methods of electrical power transmission on high frequencies can be used to power electrical vehicles. So we're talking here about a reality that could have been planetary wide evolutionary leap 100 years ago. It amazes me how the shadows of the human mind and the human collective have brought us to almost planetary destruction 100 years later, still using matter as a source of energy, still using oil or coal. Our utmost efficient perception that there needs a type of monopoly hierarchical system, ownership of matter, and the vision be different.
Boris,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting. The voice is going up and down most of the
Okay.
time.
Is it better?
Sorry, but we
Is it
cannot
better?
understand. Now it's better, but maybe if we put it more under your chin,
Mhm.
because sometimes you turn other way and I think the voice gets low.
And now? Now it's better.
Yeah, let's give it a try. Thank you
Is
very
it better
much.
now?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we were talking about the problem of evolution of mankind, how these solutions, the Tesla of greater efficiency of energy transmitting using resonance systems could have brought the world to using electrical propulsion, electrical vehicles, maybe not 100 years before, but maybe 50 years already. It could have been a reality for humans and the whole planet. And back back to our laboratory, the Nikola Tesla Institute started and was founded in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, in December of 2012. An interesting date. So here we started building a laboratory that can basically show and reproduce some of most important Tesla's experiments, and also we started the education process on expanding consciousness on the very important principles such as resonance, wireless energy transmission, energy and consciousness, and uh, the vision of recreating experiments in global energy transmission wirelessly. So we had a space in Brasilia where we created this 5,000 watts Tesla coil. It is a type of high frequency generator here based on a high voltage transformer where we feed it from the existing power line to